There's one thing that I see people get wrong time and time again. It's what it actually means to be a voice actor. What does it actually mean is very important because if you don't know what it means to be a voice actor, you can't do the job of a voice actor. And if you can't do the job of a voice actor, you will never start to get the roles and start putting yourself in a position to become a voice actor. So today we're going to talk about one thing and one thing alone. The most important key thing. What does it mean to be a voice actor? And what are most people who are just starting in this industry missing that leads them to not being able to push their career forward? That's first and foremost. First of all, my name is Javon Henry. I am a voice actor in this industry, SAG eligible and rep by Aris Talent. I started all by myself and I like to pull people along so that they can make a career and fulfill their goals of becoming a voice actor. And I always like to start by saying thank you to my members over on Patreon for supporting the work that I do over here. Okay, let's go ahead and launch in. Voice acting. The number one common thing that I get whenever I work with somebody who's new or whenever somebody comments on one of my videos is that they're going into voice acting because A, they love a project, anime, animation, a dubbing project, something of that nature, and B, because somebody told them they have a great voice. I got in for the same reason. I loved an animated production. Darling in the Franxx, I've already told a lot of you about this. However, that second part, having the voice for voiceover, that is the mistake that most people make. You see, a lot of people focus on the voice aspect of voice acting, but I want to tell you something. The thing that I didn't know when I first got started, and that is voice is simply the genre, not the dominating force. What does that actually mean? It means that on-camera acting, on camera is the genre. Stage acting, stage is the genre. Voice acting, voice is the genre. But acting links all of those things together. The most important aspect is acting in general. More important than anything else and much more important than your voice. Your voice is going to be utilized in order to position you for certain characters. For example, when I'm speaking in my regular talking voice, I always get told that I'm very mentorish. I'm very grounded, down to earth, conversational. I'm very relative. I'm neighborly. I'm warm. So I get cast in a lot of roles where I'm older, more gravitas, more restrained, whether that be restrained heroic or I'm a teacher or a mentor. But when I'm in certain projects and I'm using the higher range of my voice, I'm cast in a lot of younger roles. People who aren't necessarily confident, they don't necessarily know how they're going to go about and find their way in the world. They're kind of slice of life learning how to do things as they go along before they grow up. Those are the two types of voice that I put on, and they're what I'm mostly cast as when it comes to projects. The reason why this is important is because the acting is still the most important. If I just had this voice, but I couldn't act at all, I wouldn't be cast. And a lot of people are skipping the acting because they have a great voice. So what can you do about this? What can you actually do to learn that acting part? You need to be taking acting classes. Voiceover. Voice, just like I said, is just the medium. Acting is the most important part. So when you take a voiceover class, they're going to be teaching you specifically related to voice acting. So microphone technique, how to utilize your DAW, your digital audio workstation, how best to format your auditions, how best to do things to work in the medium of voiceover. But an acting class is going to be teaching you how best to act, to bring a script and a situation to life, how best to actually utilize imagination, how best to utilize acting techniques so that you have multiple tools for when you are in a scenario where a director wants you to hit a line again and again and again, and now they want an ABC take, and now they want you to hit it slightly different, and now they're giving you suggestions, and you have to decode those suggestions. Those are things that you are going to be doing when you're doing the work of an actor, where voice is just your medium. And if you want to learn more about this, I have two options for you here. I am hosting my first ever voiceover masterclass. This masterclass is going to be 3 weeks, and it's going to be going over everything that I wish that I knew when I was first getting started. We're going to be talking about the business of voiceover. We're going to be talking about acting and actual training, as well as how you can prep yourself to go into the world of voiceover. It starts on Monday, the first week of, what month is that? January, February, March, April, May, first week of May, and it starts on Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. If you're interested, that is in the description below. And if you want a one-stop shop, I also have my first over voiceover for beginners course. It's $50 as it's on sale, and this goes over everything in an expedited way so that you can have all the information that you need to go ahead and get started. Both of those are in the description below, and thank you so much. I have one more piece of advice for you. This last piece of advice is that you need to know, more importantly, once you're getting into the world of voice acting, yes, the acting is important, but the medium, voice, is the way. What do I mean by that? If you are performing voice acting like you would on camera or like you would in theater, you're going to have a harder time in this field because the medium is the way. Your performance needs to be tailored specifically for this specific way of acting. Your voice. So, when you tear down a script, are you looking for the beats and those changes? How you can play with the certain speeds of your voice? How you can make it so that you're changing the volume and the intensity? Or can you have a quiet intensity where you're not changing the volume, but you're so focused and the words are moving forward so that the fire is in the words so that it matches the animation? You need to know how you can work with your instrument, which is your voice, so that you can create a world and texture and musicality with your voice for the medium. Voice and acting. You need to put them both together so that you can create a compelling product so that you can work to start getting yourself in a place where you can be bookable. Thank you so much for your time here. As always, if you want more information about either the course or the masterclass, they are in the description down below. I appreciate you trusting me and taking the time to watch this video. I hope that it hits you at a moment where you are learning how to get into this wonderful world of voice acting. I appreciate your time. Like always, I'll see you in the next video.